All right, welcome to another episode of Speedaddixxgarage. On this episode, we are continuing to work on the EG, the K-Swap turbocharged EG. If you missed the last few episodes, all we did is mount the Speed Factory front mount intercooler. If you want to see how we did that, you can check that video out. And then the most recent video on the build, when we fabricated the intercooler piping, we used some heavy duty aluminum HD clamps made by PQY, which is the V-band, AKA O-ring design. So in this episode, we are working on the screamer pipe and the down pipe, AKA up pipe. My boy Daniel, or AKA this customer, he wants the pipe to come out of the turbocharger to not only come out and go up through the hood, but we're also going from a 3-inch to a 3.5-inch pipe. When it comes to the wastegate, we got a Turbo Smart wastegate. Believe it or not, this is a 60mm wastegate, so the outlet on it is 2.5 inches. So let me introduce you to some of the items that we're gonna need to get this project knocked out. What we have here is a 3.5-inch 90-degree elbow that we're gonna use to have the up pipe come up out the hood. Again, we said that we're going from 3-inch to 3.5. And just like always, we like Stainless Brothers around here. This is a 3-inch to 3.5 transition reducer. It is all stainless 304. And then of course, from Stainless Brothers, we got a handful of pie cuts that we will be utilizing on this build. All right, to get this party started, that we got to take the V-band off of the outlet on that precision turbo, and then we got to weld it or at least tack it into place to this transition reducer.
Wizard.
So I went ahead and put the welded reducer to V-band on the precision turbo. And now this gives us a big visualization of what we're trying to accomplish. I want the pipe to come from here, right out of that spot in the hood that's already cut up. Of course, we're gonna clean that up a little bit, but I think the approach I wanna do is somewhat of like a gradual 45. And then of course, we want to top it off or top this section off with the teardrop effect. So in order to achieve that, I think what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to use some heat tape to tape a couple of pie cuts together so that we can kind of get a better visualization of what we're trying to accomplish. So I've already cleaned up these 3 pie cuts with the convolute wheel, hit it with a little bit of the Scotch-Brite that I got from Harbor Freight, and of course wiped it down with acetone. Now I'm gonna go ahead and tack these things up. Of course, I want it to be a simple angle, no like variation. So I need to find the thinnest point and make sure I line all of those up and tack it together. On my Eastwood TIG 200 digital, it got a spot function where all you gotta do is snap the pedal. It's gonna give a burst of 120 amps for a split second, and it's gonna fusion tack it. Speedaddixxgarage I have decided that I wanted to use 2 pieces of pie. Let me go to the car and show you what I'm trying to do. All right, the easy way is just to have a straight pipe come here, straight 90, right out the hood. I don't like that. I feel like that's kind of boring, and I kind of would like it to be more of a gradual bend instead of just like a blow type bend. So what I want to do is I want to put a couple of pies here, straight piece, a couple of pies here, and then of course we're gonna do the slash cut out the hood. I need to know where that hole is in reference to this area, so I think I'm gonna try to use painter's tape. If I can use painter tape and kind of figure it out, I think this little approach may work. Hey, we'll see what happens.
Stranger from the outside.
Doing that might have been overkill, but hey.
It's my painter's tape.
Let's see, I taped this pie cut together with this 4-inch piece. And I heated it up so it's still hot. I actually test fitted the other 3 pieces of pie, taped it all together, and set it up in there. And actually, I think this is actually what we need. This is gonna work. Actually, I think I want the teardrop to kind of go to the left passenger side and to the rear. I think that's what I want to do. I ended up tacking on the very last pie, so we're actually using all the pie cuts just so I can chip this that direction. And now I need to figure out like where my slash cut's gonna be. Obviously this piece is too long, so I need to kind of cut it back, but I don't want to cut it back too far because you can't add material. I went ahead and put my slash cut in it. Like I said, all you do is take that 90, cut it straight across. That's gonna be the lowest part of the bottom of that bend. I know I need to cut a little bit off of this, but I want to kind of creep up on it a little slow. Before I get too far ahead of myself, I'm gonna go ahead and weld up at least this portion here. I've already got everything super duper clean. And a side note, I got them 3-inch purge plugs from Tycon. Of course, we're working with 3-inch here, 3.5 to this side. So what I end up doing is I end up filling the void with tin foil. So I'm gonna let that purge for like 1 minute or so, and we're gonna start welding. And I'm using a thinner filler rod for this here. Man, I start welding and I got some kind of situation going on here. It looked like it's like not all the way clean, but I know it's clean unless it's something dealing with this stupid pipe. It looked like it's got some kind of residue on it. And then the inside got that like steaming effect as if it, maybe it's water or something. So I'm gonna have to clean this mess up real quick and see if I can get rid of that. All right, so I cleaned this pipe up one more time, and as I was wiping it down with acetone, I noticed it was leaving streaks, even with the clean shop towel and with a clean piece of cotton. So I don't know what the heck is going on, but I know for a fact it's clean this time, and we're gonna try it again. I'm back, fam. I got most of these pie cuts welded up. I'm super proud of myself. I'm getting the hang of it. And remember, I was having this issue with this pipe right here. I mean, you can tell that it looks a little different than that. It's got like a different kind of shade to it. So I got another piece of that 3.5 that I cut, and check this mess out. It ain't even stainless. So I don't know, with it being mild steel, maybe it's aluminized steel, but obviously that's the reason why it looked like garbage. That material that we welded on was, of course, aluminized mild steel. When we purchased it, where we purchased it from, it was labeled as 304 stainless. I should have known better, seen it had a couple lines and stuff in it, but I went ahead and welded it. So I've already cut that piece out and added in the new piece. And as you can tell, everything looks consistent and symmetrical. So at this moment, I'm cutting down the part of the up pipe that's coming up through the hood. It's gonna have that slash cut. And I figured we might as well go ahead and start on the screamer pipe. All right, guys, I went ahead and welded up the screamer pipe where it attaches to the wastegate, I ended up having to use a couple of pieces of pie, and then I cut the 90-degree bend right where it starts to arch, and it's cooling off right now. I'm gonna go ahead and discombobulate this junk, and I'm gonna go ahead and bolt it up. Hey, I had to take this blow-off valve off because it didn't have the fire ring on it, which sits right there. And also I was having trouble bolting up this clamp. I think it's because the compressor might be in the way just a smidge. I might need to rotate it. Also, it may help somebody. 3/8 deep socket is what that is. It's not a 10 like it should be. This mug is on like Aussie metrics or something. Aussie, aka Australia, because that's where Turbo Smart's from. But look how massive that thing is, dude. This junk is like as big as my daggone fist. Matter of fact, this wastegate is bigger than the wastegate on my V8. All right, let me show you where we're at after like an hour or two. All right, check this out. I got this polished. I need to cut this section to fit the contour of the hood, but we're looking at something like this. If I have that teardrop go too far back, I'm gonna end up having to cut into that section of the hood, which I don't want to because that's structural. So I think I'm gonna need to like kind of keep this somewhat like this. With that being said, if you look at the pipe, the screamer pipe, it basically goes right up underneath there. So I have really nowhere to go. So I think my best option is to make the screamer pipe come up like right in this area, basically in between the teardrop and the valve cover. And with that being said, I think what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to put maybe like right here, add like 2 pies to get this piece to transition right here. We still got another 90 we can use if we need to, but I'm trying to use that 90 for the teardrop. And then what I would like to do is, you see I got these pie cuts to kind of make this somewhat transition right here. I'm trying to do the same thing here so that when you look inside of the engine bay, you can see pie cuts. You know, I want this to look cosmetically pleasing. I want it to look tasteful. And most importantly, I want to represent your boy. You know what I'm saying? If I don't put my name on it, I mean, it's got to be at least somewhat hot. So let me make a few more cuts and we'll turn you back on after our cuts have been made and maybe a few pieces tacked together.
The next day.
All right, Speedaddixxgarage, another day has passed with all the pie cuts that I've been welding. I end up having to make another trip to the argon store to pick up some more argon. So just to let you know, if you're gonna do pie cuts, man, you're gonna waste about 80, 90 bucks in argon gas. I mean, unless you can get it cheaper than that, you're gonna waste some money. But I went ahead and welded up this pie cut section of the screamer pipe, and I got hyped up, man. I watch a lot of videos, like on the way to work, on the way home or whatever. I watch whatever I have a passion for right now is welding. So I was watching Kane Kid. I'm pretty sure you guys know about Kane Kid if you watch any kind of TIG welding on YouTube. But I was watching his deal that he was talking about autogenous or something like autogenous welding or some junk where basically you use a pulse function. Basically you set up a pulse function on that. So instead of doing an autogenous weld, I did an autogenous, which is the pulse, but I added a dab of the filler in between. And man, it limited the heat input and it came out pretty daggone good. I'm pretty happy with it. I got a section right there that's real purple where I think maybe the argon was messed up. Like maybe I lifted my lid too quick and it blew a breeze. Maybe I breathed too hard because it's hard to breathe on that mask. But make a long story short, man, I'm pretty happy with that. And that might be my new technique of welding because it actually came out super pretty. Pretty like that daggone Selma Hayek, boy. So real quick, some of the settings I did. I'm using 79 amps. Then I got my percentage, I guess it's the percentage on time or percentage of the 79 amps is 70%. To my pulse per second was 1.5 pulses per second. And then I did my pulse ratio, which I think is the percentage off time is 20%. So in order to test fit this pipe, I need to take the Nissan, push it out the driveway or push it out the garage so that I can bring that down and work on it. But in North Carolina right now, aka Friday, it's actually snowing. If you know anything about North Carolina, man, one week is 70 degrees, next week it's snowing. And if you move down here, you're gonna need to get some Claritin and some Flonase because it's gonna jack your sinuses and allergies up, for sure. All right, I got the teardrop set up like I want it. So all I gotta do now is make these 2 welds here. I'm probably gonna use that same pulse function I'm using because it kind of makes everything look symmetrical. Then I will show you what this looks like with the screamer pipe that I got so far. I guess I'm gonna have to postpone this until maybe tomorrow or whenever the sun come back out, because my welding helmet is acting up and I got a good feeling that it needs to be charged up, meaning that it needs to be sitting outside in the sun. Or I could put batteries in it, which I don't have. So we'll check you next time I get this charged back up. Bonus clip, we needed to have a spot to put our air intake temp sensor. This is an item from K-Tune. It's basically an IAT adapter kit that utilizes the factory air intake temp sensor. Normally you use a GM style like this one. So I was kind of shocked and surprised to find that you can actually use the factory map sensor. The factory map sensor had these little tangs on the ends of them that prevents you from basically sliding that through the adapter, so you had to grind those down. Don't pay no mind of this. I did this wrong and realized that I did make a clip of doing it right, but make a long story short, this is how you put it together, except for the washer needs to go on the side where you actually plug the sensor into. I made my marker where I wanted on the intercooler piping. I'm using my nifty brand new, which actually works pretty well, spiral drill step bit. I welded up and I used that little piece of brass for a heat sink. I'm getting the hang of this, and here you go. That's where that washer goes. Put the collar section on there, tighten that mud together, and believe it or not, man, that joint actually worked good. And here's the location on the cold pipe inside where you cannot see it. Nice. Now for the final product.
Wizard.
All right, as you can tell, we're done with the screamer pipe and the up pipe. All I gotta do now is cut out the hood. You'll see that on the next episode. But without further ado, I love you. Have a great week. Make 2022 a better year to improve yourself from last year. And that's what I'm gonna do. So I encourage all you guys that have been wasting time and been contemplating on what you want to do last year, knowing that COVID and everything has been bad, make this year the year to make some stuff happen. Until then, I love you and I'll see you on the next episode.